Gratitude done right can move mountains. And so a lot of people who are trying to get and stay sober, or get sober but have trouble staying sober, one big reason is the lack of practice of gratitude. And so gratitude of a consistent, solid foundation of gratitude and making a habit out of it can make the difference between a really miserable sobriety and one that is actually joyful. Hi, I'm Kate. I am the author of the Addiction and Alcoholism Recovery Skills for Women book series, and I am going on 10 years sober. If you get these, this is the first one. And I am going to go over the 3 pillars of gratitude. There are a lot of really great elements about how to practice gratitude, but these are the 3 most essential things that I have found in my day-to-day practice, my day-to-day gratitude practice. And like I said, it is something that you practice, right? You can't get good at anything without practice, but if you do it long enough, it becomes second nature. And that is the goal of a gratitude practice, where it just becomes ingrained in you. You rewire your brain. It literally rewires your brain. It's pretty phenomenal, the neuroscience behind it, but I am not a scientist, so that's as much as I will say about that. But it actually, there are studies, it is proven that it rewires your brain, and your brain becomes trained to see things in a positive light. A brain that once was extremely pessimistic can be trained to be the most incurable optimist out there. So the first pillar I am going to talk about is practicing flipping the script. So flip the script. And what I mean by that is when you catch yourself thinking something negative, a con, as I call them in my book, you switch it to a pro, and you proactively do that. So say you're constantly thinking, gosh, the sobriety thing sucks. I'm never going to figure it out. It's not for me. I'm hopeless. It's never going to work. Stop yourself and remind yourself this is a temporary feeling. I have seen people with many years of sobriety, with stories that are very similar to mine, find happy, sober lives, and it is possible for me too. It is going to feel unnatural. It is going to feel forced. And that's why it is very important to stop yourself and even journal yourself while you flip that script. So you write down the con, I hate sobriety, and then you flip it to this part sucks, but I know I can do it if I don't give up. That was a little ambitious for me to try to write that, but that's in summation. That summarizes what I just said, the really long one. That was a lot better than that. And so you actively catch yourself. You become aware of the way you think and the patterns of the way you think, and you stop yourself and you say, no, what is a positive reframe of this thought that I just had? And you actively reframe it, and that will help you start to practice. So that was pillar number 1, cons to pros. And now we're going to go to pillar number 2, which is, and you've probably heard this one if you've been around at all in the recovery space, starting your day, ideally in the morning, but if you forget, it's okay. You can do it later. But starting your day with 3 gratitudes every morning. Can you read that? I think you can read that. 3 gratitudes every morning. And it is so easy to say, oh, I'm happy for my friends, family, and health. But that is not at all what we mean by gratitude. Sure, be grateful for those things. Yes. But we want to get to a point where we can be grateful consistently for the little things. So I like the example of being grateful that you have shoes to put on your feet so that you can walk around comfortably outside. I had a moment when I was 6 months sober where I found myself on my knees in tears over how grateful I was for my microwave. I was in my kitchen crying about it because I could have warm food in a matter of minutes. And there were people in this world who didn't have that luxury or even food. So that is the power of it. And so I was ecstatic over my microwave and that I get to have a microwave in my life. And so it's those little things that you want to try to search for gratitude for. And if you're going to look to it being your friends and family and health, pick something specific about those things. I'm really grateful that my husband takes care of my car for me, because without that, I don't know how I would do it. I would probably be taking it to a mechanic and getting screwed over on the bills time and time again. And that is a very real gratitude for me. He just replaced my windshield wipers this morning and sent me a text, and I didn't even ask him to do it. So that is a really good example of gratitude. So every single morning, think of 3 things. And if you practice this every day, you're going to, over time, and don't skip a day, do it every day, set an alarm. You're going to, over time, will start to think that way as a habit, like I mentioned in the beginning. This is a really important pillar for practicing gratitude, and it explodes into you just finding countless things to be grateful for every single day, and you end up living in gratitude. Okay, so now you are practicing finding it around you, right? With pillar number 2, you're practicing finding things to be grateful for around you. Pillar number 3 is something that I also find very important, not only for gratitude, but also for building up your self-love and your self-esteem. And this is going to be create something beautiful every day. Doesn't matter what it is. It can be, if you're going to send a text to somebody, it can be really thoughtfully worded, and even you could include a compliment. Say, oh, by the way, I really thought your hair looked amazing when I last saw you. Something like that, a compliment. It can be the perfect messy bun, which I do not have right now, but it can be the perfect messy bun. It can be, if you're an artist, this will be easy for you, right? And so you're contributing to the positivity and beauty in the world. You're putting it back out there. And as you practice the gratitude of seeing things around you to be inspired by, you'll be able to put more and more positivity back into the world. It's a frequency, reciprocity with frequency. So as you find all these beautiful things around you, you're going to be able to put more beauty into the world. Start simple, like I said, a really well-worded email or text message to somebody. You're a great outfit, or maybe you do a darn good job making your overnight oats for the next morning, something like that. So that would be pillar number 3. So I am going to now get into, I don't have it filmed yet, but I'm filming right now. So I'm going to get into filming some of the gratitude pitfalls and where it can be really hard, and what we can watch out for as we work on our gratitude practice, and so that we don't get tripped up. That video will be on the screen somewhere here. You can go ahead and click it and watch it next.